Hey everybody, and welcome to Real Supernatural Encounters. Today I got my high school friend, Justin. He's going to be telling a few of his encounters. So Justin, why don't you go ahead and give a brief bio about yourself?
My name's Justin Isbell. I'm out of Middletown, U.S. Army veteran, 8 years. That's all I got, man.
All right. Well, when you're ready, you go ahead and start with your first story. If it's your only story, whatever stories.
I think it's the only one I'll share today. I got to think of some more. But when I was younger, about 11 years old, got a younger sister born. We decided to get a bigger house. We switched houses. We moved around a lot when I was a kid. And our landlord called us, said he had a house, but there's a little problem with it. He said that he had to clean it out. There's a bunch of dead doves and like weird rituals in the basement and stuff like that, like satanic rituals. And ended up cleaning out stuff. We moved in and everything went good for a while. Bunch of weird stuff would start happening. You know what I mean? You would hear like footsteps going up and down the stairs in the middle of the night. My mom would see like little shadow people running around. She would be in panic a couple of times a week. You feel touches, you'd look around, there wouldn't be no one there. I'd hear voices tell me to get out. One time, something that freaked me out was the alarm clock wasn't even plugged in, and it started going off like the alarm thing, and the numbers on it said 666. Freaked me out.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Wasn't even plugged in, dude. I was carrying this around. It was so crazy. But the thing I seen that really freaked me out the most, man, I got in trouble when I was a kid. I think I didn't want to go to bed or something. And it was like a 2-story house. And I was sitting on top of the steps, just kind of pouting, you know, being a little brat. And sitting there, and I looked to my left, man, and I seen this big bright glow. And I was like, what the hell is that? And I looked over, man, and just like a big green mass of flames, and it kind of had like a head and a face, and I kind of stood there. It seemed like forever I was looking at this fucking thing, and eventually I realized like what I'm looking at, it ain't human. This ain't right. So I ran down the stairs. When I ran down the stairs, it kind of hurled a little green fucking thing at me. I don't know what the hell it was, but I didn't look back. I went downstairs, told my mom and everything. They didn't believe me. They thought I was fucking nuts. And that put me in counseling and shit, man, and went around. I mean, every family dinner, it was, hey, don't talk about what you seen at the house. Don't be telling people that. People thought I was crazy, thought I was a weirdo, thought I was just full of shit. And eventually, like, a month back goes by. I'm sitting there laying in bed one night. I wake up, man, there's this big orange glow on my wall, my uncle's house. He lived like behind us. He was our neighbor, but he was back a little bit, but he was real close to the house. And his house just went up in fucking flames, man. I've never seen a house burn like that in my life. Like the whole house was on fire, like blazing. And he survived and everything. He didn't die in it, thank God. But the fire department had a little bit of trouble finding the source of the fire. It took them like 3 or 4 days, and eventually they said, hey, you're a cigarette smoker, we're gonna roll it out with cigarettes. And then time went by and everything, moved out of there eventually, and now the house ain't there. I don't know. I've been looking into it. I found the address and everything. I just can't find it. All I see is that property taxes and stuff like that.
Oh, wow. Now, has there anything else happened after that?
Well, I was telling my buddy about it the other day, man. I forgot about this. This is at a different house over my buddy's house, and he just kind of like dicking off and shit, man. And one guy was taking pictures, like a digital camera when it first came out. This is probably like 2 years later. And he kept taking pictures, and every picture got darker and darker and darker and darker. Eventually, there was a green head in the picture.
Okay.
And then we ran outside. We called our parents because his mom was with my dad. He's like my stepbrother. And they was like, oh, you guys are pussies. Get back in the house, whatever. So we got the courage to go back in. We opened up the fridge to get something to drink. There's a big green flash of light. Yeah, I don't know if it was related to that or not, but that's the only thing with green that I know of.
Okay. And do you have anything else for any other stories?
Yeah, I think that's it for right now.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and start with my questions. when you said that you moved to this house, what year was it? How old was you? The
I
one
was
with the
11 years old, so that was probably back. It was right when 9/11 happened. It was around that time frame. So
okay.
that was what,
So 2000,
2003.
2003. Okay.
It's probably right after 9/11, so 2003 or 2004.
Now, when you said there was rituals down in the basement, what kind of rituals was there?
Not really sure. I have to ask him. I'm still in contact with him and stuff, but he just said that people were doing rituals and like there's a bunch of dead doves down there and like pentagrams and stuff like that.
Yeah. Are you able to get in contact with him if to find out some more details about that?
Next time I talk to him, I will. He calls my grandma every now and then. I'll ask him about it. He
Okay.
had a lot of properties, man. He owns like 100 properties. So,
Oh, that's great. So he probably even experiences a lot of weird, strange stuff at those properties as well.
well, yeah, living in Ohio, you own 100 properties. One of them's got to be haunted. You know what I mean? There has to be something like that.
Um, you said your mom, she's seen shadow people. Can you go into more depth with that?
About the same area where I saw the flaming entity. I was just in my room. There was like two bedrooms. One was on the right, one was on the left. And I just
Mhm.
heard her run like hell one day. And she was crying and ran to my bed. And she said she seen a little boy, a little
Oh,
shadow boy. And
wow.
she was really in a panic. She didn't like stuff like that, man, at all.
Did she ever see them again besides
Uh,
that one time?
I don't think so. I know she would hear the footsteps and stuff like that. And she was right with me when that alarm clock went off. But
Okay.
she's no longer with us. Unfortunately, I can't ask her.
Sorry to hear that. Sorry that your mom
It's all good.
passed.
And
Um, was that the same year that you moved into that house? That she's seen that shadow boy?
yeah, it was around the same period, probably about 6 months apart.
Okay. And did you ever see any shadow people yourself?
Um, my brother did. My brother seen a tall one.
Okay.
About he said it was real big. I remember him. He thought it was me playing a prank, and he started crying.
Oh wow. Is it
Uh,
was he your bigger brother or
yeah,
who?
yeah, he's my
Yeah.
bigger brother. He's
Oh
like,
wow.
Justin, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm in bed, dude.
That's so funny, man. Uh, do you know if he is able to tell you if he's seen anything during that time period when he lived with you at that house?
I could ask him about it.
Okay.
I'll have to give him a call, ask him what all he's seen. He was scared to death of that shit too, man.
That's so crazy. I mean, Ohio, it definitely has like the highest numbers of a lot of things, especially paranormal. I mean, we there was a lot of wars that's happened in Ohio back in the day, and not to mention, I guess there's been some type of Salem witch trials too that's happened, and I feel like we have a lot of Indians that have migrated around the area, so they all have those Indian burials, which for whatever reason put off some type of supernatural, like magnetic, where it draws spirits and stuff. So, and we always end up building houses on
Oh
it
yeah, I know.
around.
Quit
Um,
messing with them Indians, man.
you know what I mean? But oh man, I don't think we'll ever learn because we won't ever know. Um, you said that you had that alarm clock, it went off. Can you go a little bit more in depth to that? Like what you were doing before before it went off?
I was sleeping in my mom's room, and I don't know, it just started going off, man. It wasn't plugged in. It was like laying in the floor, and it started flashing 666 and going off real loud. And we was like, this thing ain't even plugged in. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, you said you carried it. Is
Yeah, I
that
was picking it up, carrying around like it's not plugged in, mom. She's like, unplug it. I'm like, it's not plugged in. I can't unplug it. It didn't take batteries either.
yeah. You know what? That stuff makes me nervous. I will laugh every time if I was like, holy crap! I had my microwave do that to me. It would flash. No one touched it. I was home alone, and the microwave came on without numbers. It was just like a bright screen, and that scared the crap out of me. It made me laugh because it's just like weirdest things happen, and you don't know how to deal with it, or
Especially
to.
if you got someone with you, man. You're just telling them, like, dude, it's not plugged in. They're like, no, unplug it. Like, no, it's not plugged in.
That's so funny, man. I'm sorry you had to go through that though. um, Okay, so my very favorite, the one you told me about this green entity. I got a lot more questions for that. You said it was a, green flaming. Was it? Could you say it was humanoid, or was it like a different type of outline of a creature?
I'd say it's a different kind of outline. It did have a face, kind of,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
it was just more like a flaming masses, like green stuff of the color of green I've never ever seen since then. It was a weird
Really.
color, man.
Have you ever tried to color, like paint it, draw it, color it?
When I was in counseling, because they put me in counseling after that, they made me
Mhm.
draw it out and stuff like that. But they made me like stab it with a pencil and flush it down the toilet. Like, oh, you don't need to be scared of it. It ain't real. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, it's real, motherfuckers. I've seen it.
I tell you, man, all them counselors, psychiatrics, they tell you not to say it, that it's not real, but then you start going crazy because you're dealing with something that's actually really happening. And
For
and
sure.
you know what I mean? Like those people are not the people that's going to help you. You know, they're not going to help the people going through it because they don't believe it. So, you know
Yeah,
what I
they gave me
mean?
on Xanax when I was like 11 years old. Like, oh, thanks. Like, let me get fucking Xanax. Like, no one still believes me. You know what I mean? Like, this is
Yeah.
gonna help.
And you know, Justin, I gotta say, man, that probably was a horrible feeling for people not to believe you, you know.
Oh, absolutely, man. I think it really changed me as a person. I think it made me a quieter person, much less to like speak out and speak my mind for a long time because it's like, okay, every time I say what's on my mind, everybody thinks I'm a liar or everybody thinks I'm
Mhm.
crazy.
Or that you were just joking, you know.
Yeah.
But your family believed you. Besides, I guess you said your mom towards the green entity.
I don't think my mom wanted to believe me. My dad didn't believe me at all, I don't think.
Okay.
My dad
Um,
just thought it was imagination, but my mom, I just don't think she wanted to believe something like that was in the house.
and how old was you when this happened?
I think I was 11 years old.
So I mean, you're almost a teenager. There's no imagination to that, you know. You like you're seeing. You know, it would be different maybe if someone was a child or you was a child and you're like 3 or 4. Then okay, maybe they could just you know made it up. But I mean, you're about to be a teenager. They tell what they see. You know what I mean? I don't
Right.
see I don't see why there would be no lies to it. So so what was you doing when you ran into this green entity?
I was sitting on top of the stairs, just kind of pouting and just crying. I think they sent me to bed or something. I didn't want to go to bed yet. And
Yeah.
I was sitting there, I was upset, and I just looked to my left, and like I caught a glow out my eye. I just looked to my left, and there it was.
Oh wow. Was he standing like over you or a little bit of a distance away?
It was a little bit of distance. He was down the hallway.
Oh wow. And this thing like that it threw at you, this green, what was it? Can you describe what he threw at you? What it was?
Kind of like an orb or something, man. I just seen him like kind of throw it, and by that time I was running down steps. Like I didn't look back, man. But he threw something at me. I don't know what the hell it was, man.
Wow. Did you hear it hit anything or smell anything?
It didn't make a sound. This thing was completely silent, man. It was weird.
Wow, that is amazing.
That's what threw
Um,
me off too. Is man, you see this big blazing fucking thing, dude, and there's no noise, there's no crackle, no flame, nothing.
yeah. It's just intimidating you, trying throwing something at you and you being
Yeah, it
blown
threw
up.
something at me. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm run down the steps.
And you're already upset because your mom was telling you to go to bed. Can you imagine going to bed and that thing's in your
Yeah, I had to go back
bedroom?
downstairs. Like, I can't go to bed. There's a fucking flaming thing up here. They're like, what the hell are you talking about? Go back to bed. I'm not going to bed.
Oh man. Oh, I don't know what I would have done. I really don't. Let's see. Okay, so can you describe how tall he was? If you could tell, I know you were smaller, so
At least 6 to 7 foot tall. It was tall.
no. Did you ever hear any like growls or sounds or any kind of verbal like wording or anything when you lived there?
When I would sleep a lot there, it would come and growl in my ear when I was sleeping. I woke up to that a
Okay.
lot.
All right.
I didn't like that shit, man.
I bet, was it like at 3 a.m. or earlier?
Any given time, it could be in the middle of daylight and this thing would growl in my ear.
Wow. Did you ever see eyes to it or anything?
I can't really. I don't think it had any eyes.
Okay. Okay. Um, let's see. All right. So you were talking about we're going to move to where you were talking about your uncle's house and it went up in flames. What was you doing that day when you came to the house or learned that the house was on fire?
I was sleeping. I think I caught on fire about 3 or 4 in the morning.
Oh
And I was
man.
just sleeping and I woke up like I was facing the wall and I just seen an orange glow. And I went and told my dad and everything, and he said my uncle's house was on fire.
How far is that house from you, where you were staying?
Uh, Probably about 15 meters or something, real close, man.
Okay, so he was like your neighbor pretty much?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Um, and you said that it was early in the morning. Did your uncle survive that?
Yeah, yeah, he survived. And he said stuff would mess with him too. He said he would like turn on faucets and go lay it back down and they'd turn it back on and he had to go back and turn it back off. He'd tell me that they'd mess with him over there too.
Now, is he still around to be able to like tell his stories as well?
Nah, he passed as well,
Okay. Okay.
unfortunately.
And you think that would rule it out as it was a cigarette
They rolled it
left?
out after a couple of days. It took them some time to get back to it. I think they had
Okay.
a little trouble with it. I mean, I can't say for sure and say it was connected, but it's just kind of weird.
And you said that he pass then, or did he live after that fire?
No, he survived. He lived for a while. He only passed probably about 5 years ago.
5 years ago. Sorry for your family's passings.
Oh, we
Sounds
got
like,
hit hard, man. My mom, dad, and my uncle all died within like 3 years of each other. So,
man, how long ago was this?
uh, shit, man, it's been a while. I think my mom was 6 years ago. My dad was 5. My uncle was 7.
Man.
They all died in my house. I don't really worry about ghosts and stuff no more. They're all hanging over my door, man. That's just,
Do you so it's in your current house right now? They have passed
yeah, all
or the
three of
house?
them.
So do you hear any kind of weird things or have any of your family members come to you at nighttime or
Oh, in dreams, all the time. I see my parents all the time in my dreams.
what do they say to you or what do they say?
Um, my dad's more like stone cold face and serious.
Hmm.
And I'm just like, holy shit, it's you, dad. And he was like, well, no shit, son, it's me. Like, what do you mean? That's more like my dad.
That's so
Eh,
funny.
My
Then what
mom's
about
just like, I don't know. She's more like an energy. She's just like real warm and stuff when I talk to her. She really don't say that. It's more like just like a warmth. You know what I mean?
yeah. Does it make you a lot happier though, being able to see them when you go to sleep?
My mom, it does. When my dad, I don't know, kind of messed with me a little bit.
Do you think your dad might be trying to maybe possibly haunt you? Does he have any, like, you think he might had any regrets of not doing something? So he's kind of like mad that he's might be stuck or anything like that?
I kind of wonder that sometimes if he's kind of stuck in another place. But I mean, he told me before he died, he was like, if I can find a way to reach over, I'm going to reach over. So
That's awesome.
I
That's
don't think he'd
awesome.
haunt me or nothing like that, man. I think he watches the house for me. I don't think he keeps shit out of here.
But you've not heard any weird sounds in your house or anything weird like that?
No, nothing here.
Okay. Let's see. Now you was talking about not being able to find the house. Are you talking about your uncle's house that burned down?
Both of them.
Oh, both of them.
Both
Okay.
of them ain't there no more. I found the address to one, but I've been looking online and shit. It says it's owned by somebody else now. I guess my landlord lost it, and it's just a vacant lot now. They don't really say what happened to the house or anything.
Wow. Um, let's see. I got one more for you, or a couple maybe. Now you said that you seen a green head in a picture. Can you go in more depth of that?
Well, it was me and my buddy. It's like a completely different house in a different town. It's probably about 2 years after I've seen the flaming green thing, and we just kind of dicking off being kids. And one of them had a digital camera, and he had me like a chokehold, and then we just taking pictures, dicking around, and kept getting darker and darker and darker. And eventually, there was a green head in the picture besides me and him.
Wow.
With like long hair, it looked real fucking weird and out of place. It
Wow.
actually fried the camera. I wish I had that picture. It actually fried the camera whenever we caught that. We went back and looked at it.
No way. Wow.
Uh,
Do you think it could have been related somehow to the green flaming entity that was in your room?
I wonder because I've never seen like a green thing, and it was about the same color.
Yeah.
Uh, like I said, that green flash of light really like kind of scared the hell out of me because it reminded me of that green thing. And it fried that fridge too. Whenever that green light appeared and the fridge was, I don't know how the fuck that happened. I don't know.
Wait, what do you mean? What are you talking about?
We came back in the house like after we called our parents and told me we were scared. And we went to go grab something to drink. We opened up the door. There was a big green flash of light
Oh
and
wow,
fried the whole fridge and everything. The fridge didn't work after that.
that is so insane.
And my buddy was with me on that one. He'll tell you the same fucking story.
Wow. What is there is some kind of there has to be some type of green entity or maybe guide or guardian or some type of ancestor. It's just hanging around for some reason. Can you think of any possible thing it could be or what it could be?
The only thing I found that's remotely close is fire witches, but I don't know.
Okay. Can you for the audience, can you kind of give a description of what that could be? What a fire witch is?
Fire witch is like a burning entity that they kind of look like a person. They're kind of witch-like, and they just kind of burst into flames. Apparently, is what I've seen of them on videos and stuff like that. I don't know if they're real or whatever, but that's about the only thing I've seen. I ain't never seen a green fire witch, so never seen that one.
Wow. Yeah, you just brought some new light to me about what fire witches are. I didn't even think of nothing like that. Like that something like that could even be an entity in its own. Um, well, that kind of wraps up all my questions for your encounters. So, if you're ready to end the show, do you have it? You want to give closing comments?
Uh,
Say anything? You want to give them any advice?
um, hold on. Let me think here. Hit me too quick.
Oh, it's all right. Take your time.
Just don't worry if you do have a paranormal experience. Don't worry about what people think or if people is going to believe you. You know what you see. You know what I mean? And don't let that affect you. Don't let the fact that people is going to think you're crazy or anything. Don't be scared to come out and tell your story. If you know what you've seen, you know what you've seen, and that's going to be the truth. The truth never changes.
All right. I agree with that. I believe that you guys, when you have these situations going, um, never never just back down. Find someone who's willing to listen. If you go to somebody and they act like you're lying or you're joking or treating you, like they did with Justin, then don't even say nothing to them. Don't even let them, give the opportunity to make you seem like you're crazy when you're not. You know. Justin, I do appreciate you coming on. Before I end the show, I want to stop the recording, but I want to close out the episode with saying thank you guys for watching, and I hope you all have a great evening. And I will talk to you guys later. See you.